Who's Rob?
You going over there?
Yeah, sit this on there.
Who you got?
Yeah.
Hold on.
We got
right here.
Witherspoon.
right there.
Give him your ID.
Scrivens.
Right here.
Henderson.
Yeah.
Wembley.
Right here.
All right. That's six.
Say, Oliver, tell them to come on so we can pray.
Who is Rob?
Oh, Heavenly Father, in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, we come together, touching and agreeing, and ask you to forgive us for our sins and forgive the sins of anybody who has sinned against us.
It took Ashanti Witherspoon over 10 years to go from the lowest status inmate to become a Class A trustee. He and a handful of other prisoners at Angola are allowed to participate in programs that take them out of the prison and throughout the state of Louisiana.
Amen.
Amen.
P. Robinson. Yo, what's the number? Witherspoon.
77293.
Right.
It's always exciting. Just like Ronald here, you know, like when he goes out, sometimes some of us who have been going off for years, you know, we go, if it was a long trip, we would go to sleep and then wake up when we get close to the ship.
I count the blades of grass when I'm going out. I don't lose nothing. I don't sleep. I don't blink my eyes. I watch everything.
Ronald has never gone to sleep on the trip. He said he doesn't even blink.
Yeah, because I hadn't been out for 24 years, and I was, you know, very happy to go out my first trip. And it was a long trip at that.
Breathe. I find your landmark again. Same way you came up. Place your other hand over there. Lock your fingers and elbows 15 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, as you all know, I'm George Ashanti Witherspoon, and I'm the president of the CPR team. We're serious about what we do with CPR. You know, we just travel and teach anywhere we can go, and we're trying to do this as a means to reach and give something back to society. When we deal with people who live in at-risk lifestyles like you all, or whether it's younger people and so forth, we're trying to touch them so that they don't come down the same roads that we do. But you all are in a good position now to really redirect your life, become independent, become healthy, become whole, and stay out here in the streets and live your life. Because if you miss, if you slip, you will be Angola bound. Don't allow. I've tried for 25 years to get out of prison. To sway you from the path that you. Right now, we're right here in the heart of Baton Rouge, downtown Baton Rouge, before what's this? Bank One. You know, I'm out here with you all filming and so forth. You know, there wouldn't be any problem for me to walk away. But the point is, I've changed. The point is, the thing that I need to do is to be free. And escaping won't give me any type of freedom. Escaping, I'm still on the run. I'm still trapped. I'm still bound by the same thing that I was bound by 25 years ago. I want real freedom. I want to be able to walk out of prison and actually say that I'm free.
I don't think I could be this free on the outside, not from within. You got men walking around out there. They have the liberty of the physical body, but they don't have it of the inner body. I was told ignorant when I came here. Now, the word ignorant is not a mark, but it's simply meaning the lack of knowledge. And I was really ignorant when I came here. So down through the years, I submitted myself and I was able to educate myself. I come to be an ordained minister, so that's when they call me Bishop Tiny Hill. And so I get that respect.
out the way. We're going to get the bishop up and just let the Lord use him as he will. Amen?
Oh, yes, you sound all right. Yes, you sound all right. God bless you. You may be seated. Can y'all hear me out there? Praise God. There is a way to escape and to be born again and live a holy life. A victorious life. A powerful life. So, well, what about being behind bars, Bishop? God still exists behind prison bars. Thank you, Jesus. He sanctifies, and he qualifies, and he specializes the individual that take knowledge of him and repent. I don't care how holy that you are. I don't care how sanctified that you are. I don't care how rich that you are or how much you come to church. Jesus said, repent. Repent. As a young man, 24 years old, thank you, Jesus, met a man, innocent man, a good man, on a railroad track one morning, and with the clap of my hand, I took that man life, went on down the railroad track, got into rock and roll, started doing my things, but they picked me up and rescued me, put me in jail. I found out that everybody hated me and despised me, but I began to look beyond the clouds, up to bright glory. I found out, Jimmy, I found out that somebody loved me up there. Hallelujah. Somebody loved me up there. Said, Lord, I'm ashamed of what I've done. I repent what I've done. I'm sorry for what I've done. Cleanse me, wash me, save me, sanctify me, hold me, say it. Say it. Hallelujah. Say hallelujah. Repent. 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 Repent.
After 38 years in Angola, Bishop Tannehill was recommended for a pardon. To walk out a free man, all that's required is the governor's signature.
So why is it you think then that the governor hasn't signed the pardon?
God haven't submitted him to sign it. I believe God is still God, and he controls all nature, and he's the God of all flesh. Now, I don't think that's nothing too hard for him to do. If I was ready from within to meet the channels from without, then God knows.
Next, the man they call Bones makes his peace with God, and the prison holds a rehearsal for an execution. When Investigative Reports returns here on A&E.
Mr. Terrio is not eating. He's continuing to lose weight. There's nothing you can give him that he wants to eat. He's reached the point now to where he's telling us, coming Friday, I think it was, that he wanted us to move him into a room and just make sure that he wasn't in pain because he didn't want any heroics or anything. When the time came for him to die, just let him die. But I cannot put him in a room. He needs stimulation. He needs people around him. He has friends from the dorm where he used to be that comes to see him, and they sit and talk to him, and that cheers him up a little bit.
But I'm ready for it. I figure in a couple of weeks I'll be leaving this planet.
Ready to leave?
Oh yeah, I've been ready. I'm straight with the Lord, and I know his word, and I'm ready to go. That's nothing here.
Nothing there for you?
No, not really. No, I'm not sad. I'm happy. You know, I'm happy to be going.
Where do you think you'll be buried?
Oh, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried. I have a plot in my hometown paid for and everything. And all my sisters and brothers all paid for it. And I don't know where I'll be buried, but I'm not worried about that. I think everybody's going to be judged and according to their works and according to their feelings. And you see, everybody has a spirit in it, and you have a conscience, and it tells you what to do. And if you do what it tells you to do, you can pretty well bet you'll be on the safe side, you know. But if you do what it tells you not to do, you can pretty well be on the wrong side. It's not very hard to understand. I think I'm gonna go on the right side. It's just getting time close to go, that's all. I've got to pack it up, but I'm ready.
With little possibility of early release, more and more men are facing the likelihood of dying in prison. And while many are taken out and buried by their families, those inmates without resources are brought to Point Lookout, the prison cemetery. For most, it's their worst nightmare. To address these and other issues important to the inmate population, Angola's nationally acclaimed prison magazine has been publishing uncensored investigative reports for the past 2 decades. The editor of the Angolite, Wilbert Rito, himself a former death row inmate, has interviewed every man executed in Louisiana during the last 20 years.
How old are you now?
35.
35. Since you were first locked up at age 12, how long have you been free altogether? Since you were 12, since
Maybe
you
about 4
were first
years.
locked up?
Yeah, maybe about 4 years altogether.
Since 12, just 4 years of your life?
I've been in the world.
Well, what bothers me, and I want to know if it bothers John, is, the way I see, the cases that I'm aware of down to walk and some on death row, there's hundreds of cases that are a lot worse than yours.
Yes. I guess they felt like I've been messing up so long, they were going to punish me for it.
You ever thought about what it's going to be like?
Yeah.
What do you conclude?
Well, I don't like the part where, see, I read the process that goes through, and the part where they stop you from breathing, I just soon skip over that part and stop my heart. Really, well, they say in the paper, they say in the paper where people take deep breath, but you're already paralyzed, and what's happening is you suffocating.
Yeah.
And you trying to get a breath. Yeah. They ain't got to stop my breath first. Really, I'm going to suffocate. Yeah. And you paralyzed so it won't look violent.
Yeah.
But inside, your mind is still alive, even though you're supposed to be asleep.
Yeah.
And I wonder about that. That's going to be a trip.
Yeah.
The execution room, known as the death house, is located in the most remote camp of the prison. Periodically throughout the year, the staff performs an execution rehearsal to stave off any last-minute glitches.
Ask Dr. Perigo to come right here, would you? Dr. Perigo? Could you find a vein with that much pressure on him? It would be difficult, wouldn't it? Because which one is it? Where's the problem? Okay, so this is what happened. Okay, I can see him coming up now.
When can you want to cut these things off?
Do what?
Stick them straight up, you want to cut these off?
If that's what we're going to use, I want you to cut them off.
Okay, looks kind of tacky. Stick them straight up right
Yeah.
there.
Now let's pretend something to cover everything. Now everybody go out. Let's pretend we're doing it. See, he got his head up pretty good. Okay, did it take 4 of y'all to hold him?
He ain't leaving this
I ain't got no pressure on him.
I wasn't putting a lot of pressure.
All right, turn his head loose and see what happens.
Still, let it go. Just let it.
Okay. All right, that's good, that's good. Test, 1, 2, 3. Can y'all hear me talk? Can y'all hear me pretty good? I'm whispering. Come be a witness right over here and see if this blocks your view. And if he's laying on a table and if you were sitting down, though, it block your view. Ward Van Noy, you be the one that's assigned. When you go back out, you'll move it over to here. Okay? That's that. We did it. Okay. How does that feel?
I want to be in it.
John Brown's only hope to avoid execution is a stay from the courts or a pardon from the governor. The process begins with a hearing before the pardon board.
We have convened to consider the application of John Ashley Brown, Jr., who has been sentenced to death. Mr. Brown has applied for commutation of that death sentence to a life sentence.
John Brown fully admits his part in this terrible crime. And for not one moment has he ever sought to blame anybody else. This is not a case about absolute innocence. This is not a case about legal technicalities. This is a case that raises, in our minds, as lawyers, serious constitutional issues that we think need to be addressed and that have not been addressed yet by the courts.
We've heard about Mr. Brown's part in Remo's untimely and violent death. Part. Very skillfully chosen. His part was to choose a weapon, find a victim, kill them, and take their money. That's his part, beginning to end totality. No part about it. We've heard about brain damage, but we know about the brain damage inflicted by a 7-inch Bowie knife through the nose and into the brain. That and the second stab wound, which went through the heart, surely spelled Mr. Laughlin's death. But that wasn't enough. There were 11 more stab wounds, wounds in the back, wounds on the leg. We've seen testimony that the perpetrator was out of breath and covered with blood. Of course, he was in literally a life and death struggle. We've heard today about letter writing campaigns from death row. Yet the postman never brought my mother a single letter of remorse from anyone. We've heard about deathbed conversions. We've heard about nuns going to comfort a man on death row. None of these people called my mother. Nobody called and said, I want you to understand, Miss Laughlin, that while we are standing up for this man, we understand that you have concerns too. We could trace the supposed rehabilitation and the supposed progress that a man has made here at Angola. But at the same time, I have an unfinished ashtray from an arts and crafts kit that my mother was unable to complete. A project made for a 5 to 8-year-old. My mother, while on the 8th floor of Toro Hospital, was unable to complete the simple ashtray. She's gone through paranoid fits of putting aluminum foil on the windows so that people couldn't look in. Slept for a year with a gun under her pillow for fear that someone could escape from Angola and come seek revenge on her. Revenge for what? My family is not calling for vengeance. There will be no celebration, no cause de célèbre. There'll be no rejoicing in this at all. It will, however, we will take some comfort in knowing that there's a closure to this ugly chapter in our lives.
The pardon board rejected John Brown's application for clemency.
I wish there were more forgiveness from the victims, for those inmates who actually are worthy of forgiveness. And then you say, well, he murdered and killed and he did all these horrible things. He's never worthy of forgiveness. But it's not biblical. If you're a Christian, you got to believe in forgiveness. It's real hard. He murdered my son. You need to be hard. That's the battle between the spiritual and the worldly. That's the struggle of life itself. And you see that struggle at the prison. We see that struggle better than anybody else. We see what nobody else sees. And it's sad what we see.
Next, spend
Entry in Angola, and this is the Rockin' Robin, and this is December the 24th, Christmas Eve, and I'm going to play you some Christmas music. Hope you're doing fine out there, and remember to keep up the Christmas spirits, and remember the loved ones out there celebrating Christmas. I know they'd wish that we could be there with them, but one day maybe we will.
In Camp J, Angola's most restrictive and punitive cell block, inmates are in 23-hour solitary lockdown. To stave off suicide and violence caused by holiday depression, the administration organizes religious visits.
We just want you to know that you're not totally forgotten. Check, see how you doing. Bet you ain't seen a sight like this in a while. We've been trying to figure out who dug you. It's me or Fair Stretch, okay? I believe it's him.
Tomorrow's Christmas. You just remember what it's all about. You know, it's not all of this buying of gifts and everything. It's from the man upstairs. Just remember that. And
what it's all about.
That'll build you up, okay? And I can guarantee you we'll be back.
I may not look like this here for next Christmas.
No, we don't want you here.
You know.
Yeah, come up and check on y'all for the holidays.
Glad you did. Glad you did.
See what's going on and see, make sure y'all spirits are heading up at least, you know, for the holidays. See what keeps you going. We just want to come and check on y'all for the holidays. So make sure your spirits is up.
It's all right. You know, I was out in the world.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Merry Christmas. Y'all decorations look real nice.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas. Good.
How you doing?
Look, it's amazing. You come here and look down through here. Ever look down, looks like you're looking through tunnels and caves through that razor wire. So see, have all this maximum security prison. Is we keep the despair down and keep the hope up, and you don't have anybody try to escape. And they have to try to learn to get out the right way, and that's legally and so forth. And even though you have a life sentence, you can't give up hope. And our job really is to keep the hope. And I have hope for them. You know, I do. For the good ones that want to do better. Then you always like winning the lottery, you know. You hope you get the governor will sign a pardon for you, and maybe someday you'll get out. And there's a few goes free. Probably 85% of the inmates here that are here now will die here.
Merry Christmas, wonderful. Appreciate you.
You're doing good, boy. I appreciate it. Thank you for helping my boy Randy.
Oh, yeah. We're just waiting for one last document that he needs. If he gets that up there, we'll be able to complete his whole readiness.
I tell you what, I want to say, this is why inmate lawyer, and why we need inmate lawyers is we don't want anybody in our prison that's innocent. Innocent man ought not to be in prison. That's the one thing the lawyers do. They do a real good job of working on their sentences and their cases. And we've seen some innocent men go free lately. That's what's important.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, you take care.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you and your family, too.
Okay. See you later.
All right.
How much time you have?
Well, you know, I had 75 years. I've been locked up 25 years on that. I'm eligible for parole.
You're eligible now?
Yes.
Good luck.
Okay.
You have 50 to go if you don't. You get a little gray hair now.
Come to see Bones.
All right. All right. Thank you.
Hey, dog. Yeah, I got that.
Hey, Bob. We brought you some company, Bob. Before you sit down, look here. Oh! Yeah, Bob. All right, Bob. Good to see you. Yeah. Jack, you better? All right, young man. You all right?
Yeah. I brought you salad, bro. Brought you salad and banana. Would have had some more fruit, but it's all gone, bro.
Look, I done ate. Look how big I am.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you getting big now, boy. I done ate.
They look good from when I was there the other day. Yeah, a whole lot better.
And they tell me you done made peace and you ready to cash in.
I said I made my peace. And I'm ready to cash in if he wants me. But I ain't calling him up, no.
No. Oh, okay.
Call me. And I might not be that answer the phone. Do you know that? It's not where you go, it's how you go. You know what I mean? You could kick, scream, and holler, and do everything you want. And where you going? Going to the same place.
Most of the guys in this place, none of them want to go in here. I mean, you know, I guess that's the biggest nightmare of the typical guy in this place is to die in prison.
And if you put me 3 feet on the other side, I'll be able to say, well, I died out of prison.
State of mind?
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's a state
You
of
put me
mind.
3 feet on the other side and bury me. Then will you be able to say that I died on the other side?
You know, not only dying in prison, but being buried in here. I guess you're more fortunate than most because, you know, your family and whatnot will probably take you out.
But I'm going to tell you a little secret before you go too far.
What?
I'm not going with my family. I told my sister that. I have my insurance policy paid up, my lots paid up for, and insurance policy and everything. And I'm getting married right up here.
Go and look at it?
That's right. That's where my friends are. God has blessed me all my life. Always had good jobs. Always had this, always had that. And all I had to do is look up there and say, God, I need something. And he'd give it to me. That's all I had to do. And I wasn't man enough to bow down to him. Because I didn't want to be poor. And I wanted this and I wanted that. I thought that's what it was all about.
Yeah.
I thought all that was about life. But when it came time to go, I knew I had messed up. I knew right then I had messed up. I had enough sense to turn around and ask him, give me some more time. Even it's in prison. I don't like prison. You know? I don't believe nobody likes prison. I don't like prison. But I wanted some more time so I could get to know him. And I've done that.
You got it.
And that's all that worries me. And I wish all of y'all could find him. You know? All of y'all. All of
We
y'all.
out here, bro, before we fall apart, yeah?
No, you ain't gonna fall apart.
Be good, Mom.
God bless you. Take care, my man.
We love you.
Love you, Jimbo. Love you, buddy.
You take care, partner.
All right. I'll be back for the week out. Okay, take care, my man.
Merry Christmas.
You be good.
Okay.
Merry Christmas.
All right. Merry Christmas, yeah.
Put this stuff back where you can reach it.
See you tomorrow, man.
All right, my man.
On Christmas Day. Merry Christmas.
I'm gonna tell you, that salad got tomatoes on it, so we're gonna eat that today, yeah?
Okay.
And it got Italian dressing.
Okay.
And we're going to take care of everything else today.
Thank you.
All right, you take care. All right?
Sure nice in the car.
When investigative reports returns here on A&E, a Mississippi flood disrupts the routine inside Angola, but it doesn't change the fate of convicted killer John Brown.
As you fellas know, we're under a flood watch, so just stay prepared and be ready. Warden Kane will be in later to let you know the latest update on what's going on. If we have to evacuate, fellas, and go to Tent City, be ready to move because the water will take no prisoners. And as we get ready to go, we're going in with our regular broadcasting, the day's gospel. Here we go.
Jesus is calling, wade in the water, you the way, wade in the water, wade, wade in the water, Jesus is calling, wade in the water, telling you the way, wade in the water.
That spring, the Mississippi River rose to its highest level in a century. If the levees were to break, the prison, including inmates locked in cells, would be underwater within 4 to 6 hours. Plans to evacuate were put in effect, and all of Angola worked through the night sandbagging to save the farm from the might of the Mississippi.
So we just had to wait and see and pray we make it. And you look over across here and you see all those lights, and you know all those inmates are in those cells in that prison, and you think, do I want to go run 5,000 out tonight? Well, I don't want to run 5,000 out right now, so I'm going to wait a little longer. We're going to keep on waiting. You know, we don't know. I think we're okay. We just have to see. You can see the water's higher here than the road. It's never been this high. There's their horses saddled. They say when we move the horses, they're going to know it's serious because we like the horses. But we're going to all hang in together. But see those roofs, you couldn't even get out of this on the roof.
The river forced its way right to the edge of the prison, but a week later, gently subsided. It was back to business as usual at Angola.
So what's next? When do you expect to hear from the court?
This evening sometime. I got to move in the morning. They're going to move me in the morning between 7 and 8. If we don't hear nothing by this evening, I got to start, I don't want to say sorting my stuff out. That's what I want to do. What I want to send home and what I want to give to the fellas here.
It's still pretty hopeful, right?
Yeah. It ain't final yet. Especially because I don't want to go through my stuff. So I'm hoping they do it. Well, if they don't rule, it'll go all the way over into tomorrow, to the actual date. It'll still be pending. But they said it was going to rule either yesterday or today. And the longer they hold it, it stops us from going to any other courts.
I don't really have an opinion. I think it probably might. Pretty good chance it will. But he thinks it's not. Now, if it does happen, once he realizes it's going to happen, he's going to think it's not all the way up to the end. And finally, he's going to, I don't know if he ever thinks it will. I don't know.
With the 16 hours remaining before his scheduled execution, John Brown is transferred from death row to Camp F, the death house.
I wonder what's taking so long for the Supreme Court.
Well, evidently they're having a conflict. It could be good or it could be bad. But they seem to be kind of mixed right now. We just hope our side wins. Somebody's going to have to break sooner or later. We just hope their side breaks for ours.
So, you've ever been down here before?
No, I ain't never been here before. Yeah. I like the sun.
At 11 o'clock, we're going to read the scripture with all the folks over there, with our people. We're going to do it. We talked tonight already about it. We're going to do it. We're going to read. We're going to read it again. We're going to say a prayer for ourselves. We're going to ask forgiveness if we're doing something wrong, and that's what we're going to do. This is just life, and that's what we do. And I feel real good with it. You know, if I didn't feel good with it, I wouldn't do it. Not that I want to do it. I like to do it, but we're okay. We're going to be fine. We're going to all die. He's just getting out of this world this way tonight. And so let's just hope he goes to heaven. I feel like he will. So we feel okay.
Do you believe in God?
Yeah.
Do you believe in heaven?
Yeah.
What does it take for you to get to heaven?
To be Christ-like as much as you can. And I don't know if I got that far yet.
He had a meal of boiled crawfish is what he wanted to eat, and he ate plenty. He ate a lot, and he ate his crackers and Cokes and such as that. When his family left, then he got upset pretty much, as you would normally maybe expect. And we did our own thing with him as best we could and got him back grounded. At 12:12 p.m., we sent his soul for final judgment. Last thing he said, he actually said, "Wow."
When the farm returns here on A&E, we'll learn the fate of the 5 other inmates we've been following. A decision for one deeply upsets his real family.
I don't think we ever give up hope. And that's where God comes to play in it, because when we give up hope of being free here, we have to pick up and say, well, we're going to be free when we die. And so thank God we can believe in heaven, and thank God we believe it's not over when it's over. It's just over here.
The first thing I want to do when I get out, I want to take a bath. I know that might sound strange, but you know, the little small things that you miss by being incarcerated that you remember that brought you so much joy when you were younger. And I like to go out and, you know, I like to take a bath. I like to sit down in the bathtub, just soak in the bathtub, and just enjoy it. Just sit there for a little while.
You get out, what was the first thing you'll do?
Ooh, it would be so much overflowing of joy. It would be hard for me to really express myself because it would be such a joy, such a warmness, just to even smell the atmosphere of society, to be at liberty. It would be out of sight for me.
I've dreams of freedom for years. I've had dreams of traveling through tunnels, and when I got to the end, that was freedom. If it's the Lord's will for me to be free, I'm gonna be free. And I believe that.
Mama ever leaves this place. If I'm ever leave. That's my main concern. That's what I'm focusing on right now. If I'm ever leave.
Everybody here is kin?
Yeah, I'm a son.
Okay, you're a son? Hey, man, your dad was a great man. He was inspirational. I mean, he was, last thing he told us the other day that, you know, he got right with God and he was prepared, you know, and they got a couple guys here that's going to talk to you later. But we knew Bones, he had always told us that this is where he wanted to be, you know. And,
Why?
Well,
Why in this lonesome place?
Well, he said, and quote, you know, you didn't know anybody out there. And he loved y'all, don't get me wrong. He wanted to be here because his friends, you know, we'd be able to come by and holler at him, you know.
We'll take care of Bones.
He wouldn't really know anybody out there.
But y'all, really, bottom line, after he's dead, you can do anything you want. And I understood there was some
It was my sister. He gave her power of attorney. And she didn't even ask his child. She didn't ask me, because it sure wouldn't have happened like this.
You would have taken him?
Oh, yes, I'd have taken him.
Y'all would have took him too?
Yes, we'd have taken him.
Even though he wanted to be buried here?
Yes. We'd have put him next to Mom and Daddy, where he belonged. His problem, he didn't want to be a burden.
And that was his words. And
but he wasn't a burden.
No, he wasn't a burden to us either. I mean, we loved him. I mean, we loved your dad, man. I mean, we loved it.
Praise the Lord, I'm free, no longer bound, no more chains holding me, my soul is resting, tis just a blessing. Praise the Lord, hallelujah, I'm free, I'm free, praise the Lord, I'm free.
It's possible for inmates like Bones who are terminally ill to request a medical furlough so they can die at home near their loved ones, but it rarely happens. To qualify, there's paperwork to be filed and reviewed doctors to be seen. By the time the whole process is complete, it's often too late. Another reason, according to some of the inmates at Angola, is that many times there's no one left on the outside who wants to care for them. So they stay. To die with those who, like them, call one of the toughest prisons in the country home. It underscores the bleak reality of life here and why so many inmates say this is their real family. I'm Bill Curtis. Join me next time for another edition of Investigative Reports here on A&E.
These officers walk the toughest beat in the nation. They're cops behind bars with stone-cold killers. On an all-new Investigative Reports, tomorrow at 9 Eastern, 10 Pacific. Now, an all-new America's Castles soars to new heights with 3 of America's richest retreats in the Rocky Mountains, next on A&E.